Students, welcome to class 4 EVS. Children, we were doing chapter 1 living and non-living things. In this chapter we have already studied what are living and what are non-living things, and also we have studied the differences between living and non-living things. Now we are going to study characteristics of living things. So children, let us start. Let us revise the characteristics of living things. Living things need food. Children, as we have studied in our previous session, all living things need food to live. Food provides energy to the body and helps it grow and keep itself fit. Children, food helps to stay healthy and strong. Human beings and animals cannot make their own food, so they take food from plants and other animals. Green plants make their own food with the help of sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide in the presence of chlorophyll. This is called photosynthesis. Children, we have already studied about process of photosynthesis in our previous video. Let us see once again. So children, what is photosynthesis? Photosynthesis is a process by which plants prepare their own food, or plants prepare their own food by a process called photosynthesis. So let us see what is this photosynthesis. Now children, photo means light. Children, photo means light. Synthesis means putting together. So children, when we put together various things along with light, we have a process called photosynthesis. In this process, the plants prepare their food. So let us see. Children, here we can see the picture of stomata. Children, this is the lower part of the leaf. This is the lower part of the leaf where we can find some openings. These openings are called stomata. These are the small pores or opening which are called stomata. Children, this one is the enlarged microscopic picture of stomata. These stomata help the plant in the exchange of gases. What are these gases? These are carbon dioxide and oxygen. As we know children, plants take carbon dioxide from its surrounding and gives out oxygen. So children, these are the openings or the pores which help in absorbing the sunlight from its surrounding and releasing oxygen in the process of photosynthesis. So children, these are the small opening which help in the exchange of the gases. Children, next we can see here is the picture of, here we can see the same pores. These are stomata. These are called stomata. Now all these are stomatas. Now, and these are carbon dioxide. These are carbon dioxide. Now, these carbon dioxide enters into the leaf through these openings. Now, there is entrance of carbon dioxide through these openings. So, carbon dioxide is entering into these openings. Now, here this is chlorophyll. These are the green pigment. These are the green pigment which help the plant to absorb. These help the plant to absorb sunlight or trap sunlight, and because of these pigment the leaves have green color. Green plants are green only because of these green colored pigment which helps in absorption of the sunlight, and this helps in the process of photosynthesis. Now children, here we can see the molecules of oxygen. These oxygen are coming out in the process of photosynthesis. From where they are coming out? They are coming from the same small openings or the pore which are called stomata. These are called stomata. These help in the exchange of gases. Oxygen enters the hole and oxygen comes out, and these two things happens in the process of photosynthesis. Now this is oxygen. Now after the whole process, the food is prepared. It is going from the leaf to different parts of the plant. Now it is being sent to different parts of the plant, and this food is utilized by the plant. This food is utilized by the plant to grow and use it for repair work. Now children, photosynthesis is the process by which plants prepare their own food using carbon dioxide, water in the presence of sunlight. Chlorophyll helps in trapping sunlight. Chlorophyll is the one because of which the plant looks green. So children, this was the process of preparing their food by the. Now children, our next characteristic is all living things breathe. As we know children, we all breathe to live. As we are alive, we need to breathe. Human beings and animals breathe oxygen present in the air and gives out carbon dioxide. As we saw just now, in the process of photosynthesis, plant release oxygen and takes carbon dioxide. It takes the carbon dioxide to prepare their food, and as a result they produce oxygen which are used by us in breathing. So children, as we know, different living beings breathe through different organs present in their body. We human beings breathe through our nose. So children, we human beings breathe through our nose, and from the nose the air enters through the windpipe, nostrils, and then through the windpipe or trachea to the pair of lungs which are present inside our body. These pair of lungs are spongy air-filled organs located on either side of the chest. So children, these are the pair of lungs. Pair of means two lungs. Okay. So here we have two lungs. These are the two lungs. These are called two pairs of lungs. So we have a pair of lungs. These lungs are spongy air-filled organ located on either side of the chest. So they are present on both the side of the chest, which helps us to breathe. So children, as we are living beings, we human beings breathe through nose, and then the air goes into the windpipe or trachea, and then it enters the lung and helps us to breathe. Due to the action of contraction and relaxation of this of our lungs, we breathe. So this is how we human beings breathe. So these are the pair of lungs. We have pair of lungs which we use to breathe. Human beings use their nose and lungs to breathe. Lungs are the pair of spongy air-filled organ located on either side of the chest, which helps us to breathe. Now there are some more animals such as cats, dogs, whales and other animals also have lungs which help in breathing. Other than these, children, we can see some pictures here. Here firstly we'll see the picture of a fish. In case of fish, children, fish have gills. These are gills. Fish uses its gills to breathe. As these fishes live in water, they breathe the oxygen dissolved in water through their gills. So children, the animals which live in water, they use the oxygen dissolved in water for breathing, and they breathe through their gills. So these are nothing but the gills. These are the organs through which these fishes breathe. These are the organs through which these fishes breathe. Now we have another animal, that is insect. Children, this is cockroach. This animal is nothing but a cockroach. These cockroaches or flies breathe through the holes on their body. So children, here are the holes. These are the gaps. These gaps are the holes which are coming inside. So there are some holes on their body which help them to breathe. These holes which are present on their body, these pores are called, or holes are called, spiracles. These are called spiracles. These are called spiracles. These spiracles help them to breathe. These are the holes present on their body. These help them to breathe. So children, plants also, these are the insects. Insects or flies have pores on their body. They help these pores to breathe. So children, these insects or the cockroaches or the flies do not have any organ in their body to breathe, but they use these pores present on their body for breathing. These are the holes which are present on their body which they use to breathe. These holes are called spiracles. Children, these holes are called spiracles. So these are the holes which help these cockroaches to breathe. Now next we have these leaves. As I told you, children, the holes or the opening just now which I showed you while telling you about the process of photosynthesis, that there are some pores or the opening on the lower surface of the leaf. On the lower surface of the leaf there are some pores or openings which are called stomata. These pores or the opening help the plant to breathe. Children, these pores and openings help the plant to breathe. In case of plants, plants are also living things. As they are living things, they also need to breathe, and they breathe through the pores or the opening present on their lower surface of the leaf to breathe. As I told you, they use these pores or stomatas for the exchange of gases, carbon dioxide and oxygen. Children, these are the pores which are present on the lower surface of the leaf, and these pores are used by the plants to breathe. Now children, let us see another picture which is of a boy. As I told you in the beginning, this is nose. Through these nose, human beings breathe. Through these nose, human beings breathe. And this air goes into the lung through windpipe or trachea. Lungs are the pair of spongy air-filled organ located on either side of the chest, which helps us to breathe. Now children, in case of human being, we breathe air through nose and it goes into the lungs, and through the lungs the process of breathing takes place. Now these are the ways how living things breathe. Children, non-living things do not breathe. Non-living things do not breathe. Does your car breathe, children? Have you seen your car breathing? Children, have you seen your car breathing? No. Our car is a non-living thing, that is why it doesn't breathe. Now, next process is, children, living things grow and reproduce. As we know, one of the characteristic of living thing is to grow and reproduce. We have seen a seed growing into a plant or a seedling, and a bud into a flower. Now this is growth. Any living thing grows from one stage of life, it grows into another. Similarly, living things also show reproduction. What is reproduction? Reproduction is a process by which living things give birth to their young ones. Here we can see the cow. This cow has given birth to this calf. Children, cow gives birth to calf. Now children, here we can say living things grow and reproduce. Reproduce means they give birth to the young one of their own kind. They give birth to a small baby which looks exactly like the parent. Now children, next is all living things grow and change. As we know, when we are born, we are a baby. We are very small and we are called as baby. Then we grow into teenager. Then we grow into adult, and then we grow old. After we grow old, we die. So children, all the living beings have life for a certain period of time. After that, they die. Children, as we saw in the example, buds grow into flower, a baby boy grows up into a man, and a cub into a tiger. This is the process how their life cycle goes on. The different stages of the life, starting from the small baby to adult, this whole cycle is called life cycle. Children, at every stage we keep on changing by appearance as well as by shape. So children, living beings show growth and change. So all living things grow and change. That is, living things live for a certain period of time, grow old and die. As I showed the example of bud growing into flower, a baby boy grows up into a man, and a cub into a tiger. Other than this, children, As we have already studied, living beings also reproduce. They give birth to young ones of their own kind. Here in the picture we can see a lady carrying a baby. A baby exactly looks like it's her or his mother. And then we can see hen. It has laid eggs. Out of the egg, chick is coming out. Then we have a plant. Plant is having a flower. And then we have this flower will grow, give fruit, and fruit will have seed, and seed will give birth to another plant. Then we have tiger. Tiger gives birth to the cub, which exactly looks like its parents. Children, there may be difference in shape and size, appearance, but all the body parts are same in every human being. For example, the baby of a human being may differ in their looks, but they have all the body parts exactly same as their parent. It is for every living being. Even though their looks may be different, but they have all the common body parts. Now children, some animals like mammals, as I discussed yesterday also, some animals like mammals, that is human beings, tiger, monkey, dolphin, etc., give birth to young ones. These babies feed on their mother's milk. Mammals protect and take care of their young ones. Some animals, such as birds, insects, reptiles, fishes, frogs, and snails, usually reproduce by laying eggs. The young ones of these animals hatch from their eggs. That means the living beings reproduce by two ways, either by laying eggs or by giving birth to the baby of their own kind. Fish lay thousands of eggs at a time in water, which are surrounded by a kind of jelly. Out of these, only few hundred grow into fish. Reptiles like crocodile, lizards, snake, and turtles lay eggs on land. Children, so they give birth to several eggs, but only few survive, and the remaining are eaten by their enemies. So children, here we can say all these animals show reproduction. They reproduce either by laying their egg or by giving birth to young ones, but as they are living beings, they all show reproduction, or they all grow and reproduce. Now next children, life cycle. All animals undergo various stages in their lives when they grow and change. This is called a life cycle. So all the living beings have certain stages in their life. They start from one stage and end with the same. But children, these life stages, in all these stages, the insects vary from each other. For example, here we can see the life cycle of butterfly. The picture on the right shows the life cycle of butterfly. Non-living things do not grow and reproduce. As I told you, growth and reproduction is only shown by living things. These are the characteristics which are not shown by non-living things. So children, we can see here the life cycle of a butterfly. In the case of butterfly, these butterflies lay egg on the leaf. As we know, butterfly flutter from one flower to another. So most of the time they visit these plants or the flowers. That is why they lay their eggs on the butterfly, on the leaves. So children, These butterflies lay their eggs on the leaves, and these eggs, then the larvae or the caterpillar comes out from these eggs. Children, as you know, these caterpillars are very foodie. That means they eat a lot and grow into fat caterpillar. During this growth, it creates a kind of covering around itself. That whole covering is called cocoon, or that stage is called pupa. And that cocoon is a shelter kind of a shell kind of thing, inside which it lives as it lives in as one lives in its home. Now, this pupa, from this pupa, a young butterfly comes out. This young butterfly changes into an adult butterfly. So children, here are the different stages of life cycle of butterfly. So children, all the animals undergo various stages in their life cycle. Same as the butterfly, first it lays egg. From the egg, so children, the eggs, from the egg, larva or the caterpillar comes out. These caterpillars eat a lot as they are very foodie or very greedy kind of insects. They eat a lot and becomes a fat caterpillar, and then it creates a kind of shell around it. That shell is called cocoon, or that stage is called pupa. Under this pupa, it grows and it changes into a young butterfly. Then it comes out of the pupa, and this young butterfly changes into adult butterfly. So this is the whole life cycle of a butterfly. Children, the butterfly, we discussed the life cycle of butterfly. So life cycle is something in which these animals undergo various stages in their life, and at each stage they do not resemble each other. So at each stage their appearance is different. At one stage they are exactly different from the other. So during their life cycle they do not resemble any of their stages. So children, this is how they grow at the different stage of their life. Now children, here now, but living beings, non-living things do not show growth and reproduction, or they do not grow or reproduce. Here, living things, next characteristic is living things also move. Living things also move. All living things move. As we know children, we go to school, we go to the market, or we go to different places for playing or for some other work, but we go different animals move from one place to another in search of food. The most important activity of their life is to get food. So these animals move from one place to another in search of food, and also to protect themselves from their enemy. So children, all the living things need to move from one place to another. They also move in search of food and shelter, and to escape from dangers, or to escape from their enemy. They also react to any change in nature, like heat, cold, or any other danger, sound, light. Same as children, the other living beings, animals also respond to different changes around them. So children, these are the reasons why living beings move from one place to another or show change. So children, as I told you, every living being react to any change in nature like light, sound or heat. Children, if suddenly light fall into your eyes, what happens? You will close your eyes. This is response to stimuli. So children, suddenly if light falls into your eyes, you close your eyes. Similarly children, if suddenly you sit on a nail, what will happen? If accidentally you sit on a nail, what will happen? You will jump off. Wouldn't you? Yes, because this is also the change to the surrounding. This is only because you respond to the stimuli. This means living things also feel. This shows that living things feel. Children, for example, children, when you get hurt, it pains. When you touch something hot or sharp, you immediately remove your hand because you feel the heat and also you feel the sharpness of the object. Because of the sharpness as well as from the heat, you get pain. So this is something which you feel. Animals also feel things with their sense organs. Children, as we have studied about the 5 sense organs, these are the organs which help us feel our surrounding. So children, these are the organs by which we can see, smell, taste, hear and touch. By doing all these things, we can smell our surrounding or we can feel our surrounding. So these are the sense organs which help us to respond to the stimuli. Children, these are the organs which also helps us from any accident or unhappening. So these are the things which protect us from what all happens around us. So children, human beings also feel, but non-living things do not feel. So children, this much for today. Living beings feel and non-living things do not feel anything. We will continue tomorrow. Thank you.